It's a brand new day with Mona News. It's time to have your say. She's got the scoop, the stories, all the latest trends. Mo's got the news, let's hear it. My dear friends, from politics to showbiz, no story's too small. Mo covers it all. She's got the inside call, her voice so smooth, like honey in the summer sun. With Mo on the mic, you know the news is always fun. Mornings with Mo, the best newsy news in the world. With her style so classic and her stories unfurled, from morning till night, she's got us in the know. Turn on your radio, let Mo's newsy news flow.
Good morning, everyone. It's the day after Christmas. I hope everyone's, time with their family or hanging out with, friends was great. I hope all of you had a really great time and got to eat good food and be with your family. Maybe got something you really wanted this year, or are going to be going out after everything, has been clearanced out for Christmas and buy stuff for themselves then. But I hope everyone had a wonderful holiday. Thank you so much, Jedi Jess. We are, it is the day after Christmas. There are some stories, but there's not a whole lot going on. Unfortunately, our first story is rather sad, and hopefully, everyone that's going through this that knew this young actor is getting love and support on, just this terrible thing happening. Now, as per most movies that have been directed and not animated within the last 10 years, I did not see Baby Driver. But the younger actor that was associated with that movie, Hudson Joseph Meek, age 16, was unfortunately, did unfortunately pass away when he fell out of a moving car. So I'm not sure what happened, but a young actor's life came to a tragic end after he fell out of a moving car just days before Christmas. Hudson Joseph Meek, 16, sustained blunt force injuries after falling out of a vehicle on the evening of December 19th in his hometown of uh, Vestavia Hills in Alabama, just south of Birmingham. Unfortunately, 2 days later, he succumbed to his wounds, from what his family says, peacefully on December 21st. Quotes, "Our hearts are broken to share the news that Hudson Meek went home to be with Jesus tonight," his mother, Lanny Wells Meek, reported on her Facebook page. His 16 years on Earth were too short, but he accomplished so much and significantly impacted everyone he met. The police department is investigating how this incident occurs, so we don't have a lot on that. The Alabama native was best known for acting in the three-time Oscar-nominated film Baby Driver as the role of young baby. Now, again, I didn't see the video or the movie, but I can't imagine that this is in any way easy for his family and, loved ones. He also starred on an MA or on MacGyver, which I didn't know that they had redone that. He also did voiceover work for Toys R Us, McDonald's, and League of Legends. He had a very active life off screen as the sophomore was playing on the high school football team in his local high school, singing on the honor choir, and had just become part of the student government. Outside of school, he obtained advanced open water scuba diving certification at 14 years old. And it looks like he had a very full life, but this is in no way, how soon we would want his life to be over. So I do hope that his family and his friends and all of the fellow students that he kind of impacted on a daily, you know, day-to-day life will be getting help to kind of deal with this in the coming days. So after that, well, NASA may be giving us insight into UFOs. An ex-NAFTA, NAFTA, not NAFTA, NASA. An ex-NASA commander recounts an eerie near collision with mysterious metallic orbs while piloting private planes. Thank you so much, Tammy. I hope some days I have an okay hair day. It does work out. Do not expect it every day. We will still have messy hair bun as things go on. Astronaut Leroy Chiano, who flew 3 space shuttle flights and was the commander of the Expedition 10, discussed an aerial encounter with 2 unidentified objects in an interview with News Nation last week. Now, quote, "It was in August. I was flying back from Colorado. I had just refueled in the panhandle of Texas in my small airplane and was flying back to Houston," he told The Hill on News Nation, adding that the air was clear to about 9,000 feet. Suddenly, out of nowhere, these 2 big metallic spherical orbs, one on top of each other, about 3 feet in diameter each, went zipping by the left side of my plane, right underneath and about 20 feet away, he recalled. So this is a sort of visual depiction of what he says he saw. Now, it does kind of look like the Coof virus, so maybe from 2020, but there you go. I got a good look at him, but only for a second, and it happened so quick there wasn't even a chance to get scared. But it could have been a bad result had they actually hit me, he said of the orbs that he nearly collided with. Now he's explained that the 2 orbs did not appear on his plane's radar, nor were their presences noted by air traffic control. So I think we might have a real UFO here, guys. I don't know what it was. My first guess, it was some kind of military program or a drone of some kind, but it's hard to say. He said he felt as if, it was simple dumb luck that the orbs didn't collide with his planes. Now, he's also opined about how the drone phenomenon in New Jersey, saying it was hard to believe that the government doesn't know what's going on in the Garden State. He did not. Apparently, he got on Photoshop, and this is what he says most closely resembles what it was. So who knows if this is real or if someone's trying to get back in the news or what's going on here. I don't know what it was. My first guess. Oh, sorry. So it does seem a little bit far-fetched that the government doesn't know what's going on in New Jersey, but we do have, what is it, 7 seasons of Jersey Shore to show that most of us don't care what's going on in New Jersey. Again, another show I never watched. Reports of drones, some exhibiting high performance capabilities, have started, going viral since November 18th, spreading across the state into Staten Island and other localities. Last month, local news aired chopper footage that incidentally recorded a mysterious orb like object screaming over the Hudson River, possibly coming from the direction of New Jersey. And last year, the Pentagon did release radar footage of an apparent orb moving through military controlled airspace, claiming they could not identify the object. So there we go. We've got orbs of peace showing up on this, everywhere. I'm sure this will be great. Sure, nothing's going to happen. And good morning, Coffee Nut. Good morning. And I think those drones are government drones doing what? No idea, but I'm hoping 2025 is not a lockdown due to drones and alien attacks. I have stuff to accomplish in 2025. Absolutely. And Jessica Thomas, good luck on your hike tomorrow. Good night, nurse. Holy goodness, that's a That's a good hike. Good luck, stay hydrated, and, don't push yourself to the point of getting a leg cramp or anything else deadly, because holy goodness. Oh, I could do that. Thank you, Kathy. This is our daughter, Dottie. And this is our other daughter, Dottie's sister. If you grew up in a house that mainly communicated in movie lines, that was a pretty good one. In headlines I never thought I would say, quote, "Things don't always unfold the way we hope." Serial self-lover who, um, bathed many unsealed food product with his own genetic material is finding out that he won't be in prison for long. There are a combination of words in this headline that just, makes you wonder if humanity is the right choice for the earth and not Twinkies and cockroaches. Like, maybe, a Twinkie would never do this to your food. This Twinkie will. A Colorado judge sentenced a 33-year-old man to 3 years in prison for self-loving outside coffee shops and schmaculating onto unsealed foods in bakeries and grocery stores where he worked. I think we could just go for the death penalty here. I think we're all kind of okay with that. I think I speak for most of us when I say, "Yeah, no, this can't be fixed. We just need to start over." Stefan Masatla pled guilty in September to attempted, SA on a child and 2 counts of indecent exposure. The Lemire County District Attorney's Office announced Friday. However, he will be credited for about a year behind bars, meaning he will be back out on the street in 2 years. Now, once he is released, he will be required to register as an offender and have no contact with children under the age of 18 and is not allowed to have unsupervised internet access. But still, I'm thinking directly into the sun. No need for more Lysol wipes. The sun disinfects him for us. Now, police and prosecutors lamented that they couldn't issue a harsher punishment for this douche because he was caught, self-loving, outside coffee shops in Fort Collins to the horror of many, including children, in February. Subsequent investigations led authorities to discover that he would also do these depraved actions in a Safeway grocery store where he worked. Okay, so just all that gross, and if you bought anything from Safeway, I just chuck it out. I understand that this sentencing may not align with public expectation, but I share the view that this man's actions were unimaginable. How unfortunately, things don't always unfold the way we hope, said Assistant Chief Christy Voleski, who oversees criminal investigations at Fort Collins Police Services. Now, District Attorney Gordon McLawton said prosecutors had to work creatively to impose harsh punishments because the law really doesn't allow for multiple misdemeanor charges to run consecutively. Now, he was originally charged with 14 misdemeanor counts of indecent exposure, 2 counts of attempts to elicit indecent exposure, and then another misdemeanor, 4 counts of misdemeanor attempted unlawful contact of a sexual nature, and 16 counts of attempted SA on a child. Ooh. He said that the deal required him to serve a maximum, time allowed on the felony charge. The depravity of Mr. Matsala's actions cannot be understated. His actions were shocking and left a considerable mark on our community, he said. Simply put, his actions were so horrific that our current laws has not, contemplated it. I hope that we can work with the legislator to ensure crimes like this will be fully covered by law in the future. Well, if we need to make a law about not self-loving to the point of completion on someone else's groceries, maybe people no, no, we do not need to make a law about this. We just need to take care of the people that do this and not allow them back into our society. As Law and Crime previously reported, Fort Collins police said in a statement that they began investigating reports of indecent exposure by a person showing up at local coffee shops to perform obscene behavior around of or in front of employees, and some of those were minors. Fort Collins Police Chief Jeff Swoboda explained in an update in the case that, since his arrest in February after a search warrant was executed on his home, investigators found videos in the property of him self loving and schmaculating on food at a Safeway. As we went through the evidence, we realized there had been many, many more crimes and many more victims in our community. He worked at that Safeway for 2 months, and apparently he released and self-loved on multiple items of food, and they were not commercially sealed. So, again, I don't think Gen Pop's gonna be great for you, sir, and if I ever see you, I would, I think, be fully within my rights to spray you with Lysol like holy water just to make sure you're all decontaminated. Ugh. Again, another one of these, I didn't have this on my bingo, card, but here you go. Elon Musk going out to be sexy Santa, sexy slim Santa. Elon Musk is looking lean and has revealed that he is taking Mounjaro, for weight loss in a festive Ozempic Santa post, because it's all the season of giving, and who doesn't want a skinny Elon? I have no idea, you guys. A lean-looking Elon Musk revealed Wednesday that he uses Mounjaro after previously expressing support for similar weight loss drugs as a means to curb America's obesity epidemic. The billionaire Tesla, SpaceX, and X boss made the admission on social media, where he included an image of himself donning a Santa Claus suit and white beard. He dubbed himself Ozempic Santa in the X post, noting it's like Cocaine Bear, but Santa and Ozempic. I'm like Cocaine Bear, but only Santa with Ozempic. God love him. Technically Mounjaro, but that doesn't have the same ring to it, he clarified. Mounjaro, like Ozempic, as a GLP-1 inhibitor, a class of drugs developed to help people with diabetes regulate their blood glucose and insulin levels. However, Americans have been increasingly turning to these kind of drugs to successfully shed pounds. Musk 53 noted that he prefers Mounjaro to Ozempic because likes taking higher doses of the latter drug. Uh, but it made him, fart and burp like Barney from The Simpsons. And Mounjaro seems to have fewer side effects and seems to be much more effective, according to, Elon. So there you go. Have, a Mounjaro holiday. You guys, I don't know, but there you go. Look, everyone's gonna have a lot of different opinions of how you should get healthy or lose weight. If this is how Elon chooses to do it for himself, stop having s Elon, you wanna improve your health? Stop having babies with insane socialist chicks. Now, as a fallopian tube haver, as a, you know, person of a big family myself, you know, it works out better when you're not having a bunch of small little humans with crazy people. I tend to stop stress eating when I'm not having, children with crazy people. Just a thought. or stay with Grimes and have, cosine tangent Messiah. I don't care. Elon, I'm not your mom. I'm not going to tell you what to do. Oh, for the love of. There we go. Well, we did. Fear not, dear people, for while 2024 was full of shenanigans, apparently we have solved some scientific mysteries this year. So let's figure out what historical, mysteries were solved by science in 2024. Maybe it'll be, how to find your socks when you put them in the the wash machine, how to get all the socks. This year, scientists were able to pull back the curtain on mysteries surrounding figures across history, both known and unknown, to reveal more about their unique stories. In some cases, analysis of ancient DNA helped fill knowledge gaps and change perceived notions. A prime example of it is how a DNA research is reframing the way people understand archaeological sites of Pompeii, which still remains trapped beneath a layer of ash years after the Mount Vesuvius eruption in AD 79. So there we go. Unmasking the unknown, our first mystery. A detailed analysis of tooth enamel, tartar, and bone collagen helped researchers uncover the details about Vitrup Man, a Stone Age migrant who died violently in a swamp in northwest Denmark about 5,200 years ago. His remains, recovered from a peat bog in Vitrup, Denmark in 1915, were found alongside a wooden club that was most likely used to, brain him. So now little else was known about him, but using the cutting edged analytical methods and DNA evidence, they found the individual behind the bone and told the oldest known immigrant story in Denmark's history. He apparently grew up along the Scandinavian coast and belonged to a hunter gatherer community, enjoying a diet of fish, seals, and whales. But his life changed drastically in his late teens when he moved to Denmark and shifted to a farmer's diet, eating sheep and goat. He died between the ages of 30 to 40 years old. So there we go. We learned that he's, you know, kind of a guy, grew up eating fish, ended up eating goat. Norse sagas Well Men Unearthed. Interesting. Separately, researchers were able to connect the identity of a skeleton found in a castle to a passage from an 800-year-old Norse text. Cool. The and I am going to butcher these next couple names. The saga, which is related to the story of real-life King Sevre Sergdesson. Like I said, do not get mad at me. Norwegians, I tried my best. Includes a description of an invading army tossing a body of a dead man down a well in Norway's Strasbourg Castle in 1197 in an attempt to poison the water supply. A team of scientists recently discovered bones in the castle's well in 1938. Using radiocarbon dating, the researchers determined that those remains were about 900 years old. Genetic sequencing that came here this year laid bare that well men probably had medium skin tone, blue eyes, light brown or blonde hair, and in a twist, his genetics couldn't be traced to the local population. So there you go. They threw the foreigner in the well. The biggest surprise for all of us is that Wellman did not come from the local population, but rather that his ancestry traces back to a specific region in southern Norway. This suggests that the sieging army threw one of their own dead into the well. Well, I mean, I guess he was a team player. He's like, look, if I happen to pass, throw me in a well and let me wreak my vengeance for many a time. Let's see, debunking a lost prince. Movements in molecular genetics over 2 decades helped researchers get to the bottom of a long-standing historical puzzle of the so-called lost prince who seemingly appeared out of nowhere in mid-19th century Germany. For 200 years, there was speculation that an enigmatic man named Caspar Hauser was secretly a member of German royalty when he was found wandering without identification in Nuremberg in May 1828 at the age of 16. Hauser was barely able to communicate with those questioning him. The story about Hauser being a kidnapped prince taken from the royal family of Baden, which is now southwest Germany, spread like wildfire. There were multiple studies of genetic data taken from items that belonged to him, but the conflicting results led to a stalemate with no answers. However, this year, researchers conducted a new analysis of Hauser's hair samples and were able to prove that his mitochondrial DNA, or the DNA passed down from the maternal side, did not match the royal family. Disproving the royal hoax may have solved one mystery, but another one has taken its place. Just who the heck was this man? As his tombstone reads, Hauser remains a quote, riddle of his time, an ailing, tortured composer. Ooh. Classical composer Ludwig van Beethoven died at 56 in 1827 after a lifetime of ailments, including deafness, liver disease, and gastrointestinal complaints. Hey, bubble guts is severely, it just pains. So I'm with him. You have bubble guts, you have trapped gas. That shit is painful. The composer expressed that he wished that his ailments be studied and shared as far as possible, at least so the world would reconcile to me after my death. In May, researchers published a study showing that high levels of lead detected in authenticated hair of Beethoven suggest that the composer had lead poisoning, which contributed to his reoccurring health woes. Findings built on previous revelations after Beethoven's genome was made publicly available to investigate the complicated nuances of his health. In addition to lead, Beethoven's locks contained increased amounts of arsenic and mercury, but how did they get there? The subsequences or the subsequent analysis of where he got all of these heavy metals turns out that it might have been a lifetime of fish from the polluted Danube River and plumbed wine, which was sweetened and preserved with lead. I never thought lead would be sweet, but interesting. So don't refine your wine with lead to sweeten it. New findings add a better understanding to the composer as well as the complex sweeping symphonies he led behind, that orchestras still play around the world. So there you are. We have got a lot of stuff. This goes on forever. So I might add more of the kind of things we've learned this year as we go through next week, because this is kind of the dead week in between Christmas and New Year's, so there's not a whole lot of, super-de-duper big news that's probably going to be dropping. But Roland, that is 12 shades of crazy, but I know that, we don't know better until we know better, so sweet lead poisoning is not so great. We might get a new Hawaiian island. Saint Saint Nick, you didn't know I wanted a Hawaiian vacation. I just wanted to be left alone. So he's making me my whole island. Stunning photos show lava erupting from Hawaii's Kilauea volcano. And again, I might also be butchering the hell out of these names. The Midwest pronunciation is strong with me. One of the world's most active volcanoes spewed lava into the air for the second straight day on Tuesday last week, or this week. The eruption of Kilauea, sorry, volcano on Hawaii's Big Island has stayed within the mountain summit caldera for, so it's not that anyone else has It's staying in the caldera, so the little, like, cauldron where, it's not threatening homes or civilians. Molten rock began shooting from the volcano before dawn on Monday when fissures opened in the caldera floor and propelled lava 295 feet in the air or 90 meters. The red liquid formed tall fountains and then spread across 650 acres. The Hawaiian Volcano Observatory estimated that the lava was about 1 yard or 1 meter thick. Uh, Scientists expected the activity to fluctuate in the coming days as the lava paused on Monday afternoon but reemerged Tuesday morning. The eruption occurred in an area that's been closed to the public since 2007 due to hazards including the crater wall being unstable and rock falls. Visitors to the park were able to watch at the foundations, from a distance at an outlook spot. This is the sixth eruption since 2020. Hawaiian Volcanoes National Park encompasses the summits of two of the world's most active volcanoes, Kilauea, or look, I can't say it today. Look, Hawaii just has it going on when it comes to volcanoes. I love that my inability to speak this morning is like, look, they're spewing lava just everywhere. Just don't ask me what they're called because I will give you the most not phonetics, spelling and saying of these particular things. I mean, it does have a really deadly beauty to it, and I would probably sit there and just watch it forever and a bajillion days. But I also would just like my own island if possible. So and we need a happy story that's a little bit bittersweet. A killer whale mom who carried her not alive baby for 17 days across 1,000 miles of ocean has given birth to a new living calf. So this poor whale mom had to, deal with a loss that I think would bring a lot of us to our knees, but she now has a happy ending, and I'm happy for her. The bereaved whale mother who made headlines when she heartbreakingly grieved her dead baby for more than 2 weeks has given birth to a new calf, scientists say. The mama orca, named J35 by researchers, was unable to let her calf go in 2018, carrying her baby's lifeless body with her during her, 1,000-mile kind of grief journey. But last Friday, scientists spotted the devoted mom with a new female calf in Puget Sound, according to Facebook and the Center for Whale Research. By Monday, scientists were confident that the new little calf, named J61, belonged to J35. A nature enthusiast and photographer was excited when they realized they had photographed the tiny dorsal fin of a newborn peeking out of the water. My first reaction to seeing the calf was complete shock. I was just looking through my pictures to see who the whales were that were, close to the port side of the ferry I was on. And noticed a much smaller dorsal fin in one of the photos. The person who told the picture told the news outlet. As I scrolled through those series, I realized it was a very tiny calf, much smaller than any known young ones in the group. And based on the size and color of the calf, I realized it was a very new calf traveling with J35, my spark whale, the whale that started my obsession. The brand new baby will need help from her mother to survive the perilous first weeks of life for baby whales. Early life is always dangerous for new calves, with a very high mortality rate in the first year. J35 is an experienced mother, and we hope that she is able to keep J61 alive through these difficult days ahead. The calf was spotted being pushed around by her mom Tuesday and didn't look very lively, but the behavior of baby whales is not very well understood, according to a post on X from the Orca Conservancy. Now, scientists say access to salmon, the whale's main food source, is imperative for the survival of the large mammals. Every single birth counts, and these whales need enough fish to be able to support themselves and their new calves. This was the second baby J35 has given birth to since she famously lost her other baby in 2018. In 2020, she was seen with another newborn. The mother whale is part of a critically endangered pod of whales who live in the Pacific Northwest and roam around the Pacific North or Ocean between Washington State and British Columbia. They have strong ties. Killer whales tend to be very social, and Bobby Bologna is like, they're evil. Listen, you will not talk about Free Willy's extended family that well. Well, Jeff, they have to say they're like when you have a report to give and you have to have 600 words, so you just keep saying the same thing over and over again using increasingly longer words to make that, you know, that 600 words, but the last paragraph is usually like, "And in conclusion, the conclusion of this paper finds that conclusatorially" this is 600 words long now. Or at least that's how I used to do it when I was required to make a bunch of things. Now, if you have been naughty and you would like another naughty companion, uh, now I don't know why people go through people's mugshots to see if they're hot or not, but we have a new hot criminal apparently. Just in time for Christmas. Who's the convict, the hottie convict you wanna put under your tree? Well, apparently it's neck tattoo chick. This chick is the hottest, most hot felon you can ever imagine, I guess. A female schmug dealer, not street legal pharmaceutical dealer, has won over an army of online admirers after police shared her glam mugshot. Now, ladies, I swear to goodness, but the day I go out in some messy daggone bun and end up looking like not Shrek for a mugshot, this is just unfair. Christy Sansom, 30, avoided jail after being caught with 3 kilograms of cocaine at motor service station, but social media users swooned over her when police shared her mugshot alongside her co-conspirators. Dressed in a gray hoodie, tattooed Sansom has her blonde hair tied up on a top bun as she stares at the camera in a smoldering snap. No, she looks high as balls, not smoldering. She's like, "Is this oxygen on?" Like, she looks sh there is some weird asymmetry in her eyes that I'm like, "No, this is not a good pick, guys." One admirer wrote, "She's a looker," while another added, "A really attractive bunch, easily recognizable. Happy ending for Christmas." Sansom and the man she was in the car with, John Rogers, 29, were arrested in Sticerham services on the M5, just a few miles from Tewkesbury, Gloucestershire. On March 11th, police discovered drugs stashed in a carrier bag on the front seat of the vehicle they were in. Well, I mean, that's a lot of marzipan right there. An investigation into their mobile phones revealed that they had been working with Kingsley Williams, 28, and Aaron Russell, 30, to supply said, you know, pharmaceuticals. Yeah, I think that might be someone's name. It says Blue, but without the E, so BLU. So, yeah, gents, no, unhung hero is right. You cannot fix her. Do not try, please, gentlemen. Uh, More foolish men have tried. Do not try to fix this one. She has the Daryl Brooks eyebrow tattoo. That's a no-go. It's just not, it's never going to be fixed. So apparently they had all the drugs, but she's super duper hot, so I'm sure she'll be fine. All four pled guilty to conspiracy to supply cocaine and were sentenced earlier this month. Rogers was jailed for 5 years and 3 months. Williams was jailed for 6 years and 9 months. And Russell was sentenced to 6 years behind bars. Satsum was given a 2-year suspended sentence. That's right, boob privilege is a thing, dudes. We'll pull these bad boys out, and we're not going to get one complete day in jail at all because we'll be like, we were so scared, and I was a terrified woman. This chick just got all four of her male co conspirators like 6 years, a full, nickel in prison. And she's over here like, I was terrified. Suspended sentence. She has to go to drug rehabilitation, though, for 9 months and work 100 hours of unpaid work. He also ordered her to forfeit 1,800 pounds and a Rolex watch that belonged to Russell under Section 27 of the Misuse of Drugs Act. Detective Inspector Mac Phillips of Gloucestershire Constabulary said this was a significant conspiracy to bring thousands of pounds of drugs worth into our country, but she's still hot, isn't she, guys? Honestly, she looks scary. Like, she looks like her parents just gave her bail money for Christmas. They just knew she was gonna need it, and that's what they give her every year for Christmas. Because those are some dead doll eyes. In another good, kind of happier Christmas story, a pregnant woman and baby survived after doctors saved them, finding a grapefruit-sized tumor that was extremely rare, but it looks like they were able to save both mother and child. Her name is not Natasha, her name is Christy or Kirsty, depending on how you pronounce it, but I'm going with Christy. Just my guess. A Chicago woman was just weeks away from giving birth when a nagging cough led to a shocking medical discovery. McKenna Latterbach was 26 years old when she began experiencing severe coughing fits in the last 3 months of her pregnancy. They would be so severe I would become winded and nauseous to the point of getting sick, she told Fox News Digital. Now, Lauterbach, who lives on a farm in Washburn, Illinois, also began noticing shortness of breath when she was tending to her horses and goats. I would give hay to the horses every moment or morning and noticed how winded I was becoming with a dry cough. My body would feel like it just ran 2 miles when in reality I had only walked to the barn and back. Some doctors dismissed her symptoms, saying, it's just because you're pregnant. Eventually, though, the coughing would lead to vomiting, and doctors would perform scans and detected a large grapefruit sized tumor in her chest cavity and on the right lung, kind of blocking the artery to the right lung. It's extremely rare to see this type of tumor invading into major blood vessels of the heart, said Chris Medita, MD, a cardiac surgeon with the Northwestern Medicine Blum Cardiovascular Institute, who specializes in complex heart reconstruction. We may see something like this once every few years. The tumor had put her Lauterbach and her baby into respiratory distress. She was flown to Northwestern Memorial Hospital in She was in real trouble and we had to act quickly. This wasn't something that could wait for Monday morning, said Lin Yi, MD, maternal fetal medicine at Northwestern Medicine. When you're pregnant with a baby that's nearly full term, your lungs aren't functioning at full capacity. And then when you have a large tumor on top of that, you run the risk of having a respiratory collapse and cardiac arrest. The baby was not tolerating the contractions, and, unfortunately, the mother's blood pressure was plummeting. So the team performed an emergency cesarean section on Saturday or Easter Sunday, and Coulter was born After the delivery, it was time to address the tumor. The tumor was sitting right on top of her heart and extending into the right lung, impacting all three lobes and the entire trunk of the pulmonary artery. Now, I sort of vaguely know what these words mean, but not enough to give you any detail or explanation other than I know what that word means. It means lung and somewhere. Now, the doctor believed that she might have had a melanoma on her skin at some point, and that a skin or that a cell or two had escaped and begun growing inside her body. It was truly blindsiding news, Lauterbach told, Fox News. When I first got the diagnosis, I went through a roller coaster of emotions. The first feeling was relief having an answer and some anger that her symptoms had been dismissed earlier. Then there was the fear of the cancer itself. Because of the tumor, the delivery happened also quickly. I was grieving the birth plan. I had spent, months preparing and also dealing with the news of my unexpected diagnosis. The situation was serious, and while my clinical team was working on a plan to treat my cancer, it was comforting to know that the NICU nurses were taking such good care of our son. And the little nugget turns into a super cute little baby. So he was just fine. The team at Northwestern recommend that she undergo 3 cycles of immunotherapy before surgery to help shrink her tumor by at least 30%. Now, they were then able to remove her entire right lung, parts of the pulmonary artery, and her lymph nodes. The surgery was relatively risky to other cancer surgery due to the need for cardiopulmonary bypass and the need to repair the main artery going between the lungs, but it was done under safe conditions and well proven techniques. We were concerned that even with the extent of the surgery, we would not be able to completely remove the tumor. If the tumor had grown just a little bit more in that intervening time, they would not be able to have done anything. But the surgery was a success, and Ladderbox scans showed that there were no evidence of metastatic melanoma. Her outcome was very good. She recovered from surgery almost entirely, and her main issue is still with shortness of breath, which is, of course, going to always be there now that she only has, one lung. But she now has one healthy lung and not one diseased lung, growing just mounds of cancer. Today, though he was born 3 weeks early, little Coulter is a thriving, happy, healthy baby boy. As for myself, I'm still, healing emotionally and physically. McKenna tells, the news. My lung capacity is getting close to the new normal for me, and I've finally started to return to some sort of normal routine. Looking ahead, she will continue immunotherapy treatments once a year or for 1 year, sorry, and then doctors will continue to monitor her to make sure that, they don't see anything coming back. Her cancer is currently considered a stable disease, doctor says, which means there are no new tumors that they notice. The new mother, who turned 27 in October, said she's looking forward to her son's first Christmas. Emotionally, I'm trying my best not to let reality weigh on me, but there are some days when bad memories or the unknowns haunt my thoughts. Coulter and my wonderful husband, Parker, have given me the strength to make it through everything. For other women, Lauterbach emphasized the importance of knowing your body. She advised them if you know something isn't right, don't take I don't know for an answer. Find someone who will take your concerns seriously and would rather do extra testing in case, as opposed to missing something potentially life threatening. So, yeah, if there is one thing I have learned in the past 3 years, is that you really have to be your own advocate. And as a person who is not big on confrontation or being assertive to authority figures, this has been something that's really been hard to kind of say, "Hey, I know you went to school a lot, but I've been in this body for my entire life and I know something is wrong with it, or I know this is not working." It's it's been something that I've really had to kind of force myself to do, and I encourage other people to kind of get out of You don't have to be a butt monkey from like Planet Suck, but you can, forcefully explain that, hey, this is my body. I am telling you, regardless of what your tests say, that something feels wrong. Is there a possibility we're missing something? So that could be a great thing that we could all take into the new year. Um, I have done many mean things to Mr. Mo, but I would never do this prank mostly because even my car lack of abilities would make me not want to do this. Christmas gas prank goes viral as women trick their husbands with disastrous error. And I'm guessing this is going to be she tried to put in the Christmas gas, which is diesel, into a, you know, leaded or unleaded paint or not unleaded paint, unleaded gas, car. But let's see here. You've heard of a Christmas tree, Christmas gifts, Christmas carols, but what about Christmas gas? That's what holiday jokesters are telling their loved ones that they pumped into their car as part of a viral TikTok prank. Hey, it's Hannah, one prankster says to her husband over the phone. We have a bit of a problem. I stopped to get gas on the way to work and they were out, so I had to get their Christmas gas, and now my car is sputtering so bad. I barely made it to work. Hannah Crawford, 31, of Stockton, Alabama, heard about the prank from a friend and couldn't resist trying it on her husband. The family counselor slipped into her coworker's office to make the call. You used what now? Clayton Crawford can be heard asking, according to the wife's video that she posted on TikTok. Don't play with me. What are you talking about? At this point, he seems skeptical. The Christmas gas, she replies, hardly unable to contain her laughter. It had the green handle instead of the black. "I'll kill you," Clayton Crawford told his wife. "You better go run that car off of a bridge somewhere if you did that. You better find a way to total it is all I'm telling you, because it's ruined." Hannah Crawford assures her husband that they're fixing it right now. "You put diesel in your car," he said. "There's no helping you. The green handle is diesel." He fell for it, Hannah Crawford told Fox News Digital, but Clayton said he had his suspicions. As you can tell, I was probably fed up with her crap, to be honest with you, Clayton Crawford told Fox News Digital. But maybe halfway wondering if this time she actually did it. One thing about her is it's never something that's not possible. There's always that, "Oh my god, sir, I apologize. Apparently you are living with another one of me, and we don't mean to be a butt monkey from the planet Chaos, but that's just how we were left on the planet." Viewers appeared to get a kick out of this vehicle. Love that his first thought was insurance fraud. The fact that he's not even phased by "we have a problem." Why'd he give off Rip from Yellowstone vibes when he said, "I don't have time for you today"? The Christmas gas trend started in 2023 when a number of videos went viral, like Carson Holloway Ward, who garnered 2.9 million views when she tricked her dad into believing she had bought Christmas gas that she had seen on TikTok. "You don't follow TikTok," her father responds, adding in part, "This is why kids don't have a clue about life. I actually put diesel in my car or in my gas car. I can testify that not all dads are this calm," someone commented. "His little princess, you can tell, very patient," another person wrote. While the vehicle sparked laughter, the effects of putting diesel gasoline into a, unleaded gasoline vehicle can be problematic and costly. Paul Sadowski, owner of Valvoline Express Care in Waco, Texas, told the news, "It's going to start up because there's still gas in the line, but Once that gas in the line runs out and turns to diesel, it'll probably start running rough. It'll start smoking and the car will start to misfire, he said. Ultimately, the damage could require an entirely new motor. Since diesel fuel is thicker than gasoline, it evaporates slower, therefore, they are not at all interchangeable. So, if you catch it in time, you might just be flushing all the lines and add a new fuel filter, but you might also have to get, an entire new engine. So, do not use the Christmas gas. Do not do this. And to the chick, so you guys know we have a Ford Transit. We have the giant 10 people, bright red people mover. We have the breeder mobile. Now, I have never intentionally destroyed a car, but when I was lied to about what I could put into this car, because we specifically got the eco, engine, and I looked that little sales chick in the eye, and I was pregnant, and I was like, "Look me in the eye. Does that mean I can use the, flex fuel in it?" And she's like, "Oh yeah, no, no problem. That's exactly what you need to use." Well, Mo blew up the entire damn engine because you are not supposed to put ethanol into the Ford Transit, gas tank. But since it was their bad, they fixed it for us. But also don't do that. So this is gonna sound mean, but unless it's Marissa Tomei from My Cousin Vinny, ask a dude what you are supposed to put in your car because the chick done lied to me. So do not listen to them. Um, I don't know this person, but seems like he's being a bit proactive. Little Baby Lil Baby said he lost like $8 million dollars in one day gambling and has been asked to, be banned from casinos. So good for him. I mean, he knows he has a problem and he's saying, "Look, I can't control myself. Don't let me in." Wait, how much did Lil Baby lose at a casino? During an appearance on December 18th's episode of Little Yachi's, a safe place Yachi's or Yachties? Oh yeah, I am like this on my hip hop knowledge. Sharp as a tack. Like, who are these people? What is this? I feel like the 2 old guys, Waldorf and Astoria on on the Muppets, like, "Who is this guy? I never seen anything you wrote." The Band for Band rapper opened up about losing $8 million dollars in one day from gambling and how he stopped playing with his money. Little Baby, 30 years old, said the loss occurred after he spent probably 40 hours straight at the casino. "I lost like 9 million," he told Little Yachty 27 on the podcast, as you do. "I made myself stop gambling," continued the Insecurities artist. "I had Fanatics CEO Mike Rubin write a letter to every casino and ban me from the casino because I'll just do S. I don't gamble anymore," declared Little Baby. The rapper's comments later caught the attention of 50 Cent, who shared Safe Place's podcast clip on December 22nd, sharing his thoughts and called Little Baby's actions crazy. I thought only Floyd do S like that. LOL, come out the joint, looked distraught, just glad he didn't unalive nobody, wrote the candy shop MC. Later this week, Little Baby announced his upcoming 4th solo album, Wham! Who Hits As Hard As Me. Wham! Wham! In all of the absurdity of hilarity, a rapper's coming out with a Wham! Album. Now, if only we could get a Wham! Reunion. So the 15-track project will feature collaborations with Future, Young Thug, Glorilla? Am I Glorilla? Glow Okay, Rod Wave, Rilo Rodriguez, Travis Scott, and 21 Savage. I am learning all the things. Little Baby and Little Yachty recently unveiled their latest collaboration, F the Fame with Rod Wave. I know these words are words. I don't have any cultural context with them, but sir, if you're having a problem with gambling and you decided to be proactive, that's good on you. That's noticing you have a problem, you have a weakness with something, you know, hey, I don't listen to your music. We might not have anything in common, but that's good on you. If you know you have a problem, if you know you have a weakness or, something that's going to make it incredibly hard for you to say no, and you take yourself out of that situation, hey, th- this mama is a proud mama if you do those things because it's never easy to admit that you have a weakness or maybe a failing that, you just can't handle and to just keep yourself out of those kind of situations. The top 10 oddest Guinness World Records of the year. I have been waiting for this one because I want to see what the world's oddest things are. As we approach the end of 2024, it's important to look back at all the monumental achievements of the past year, especially when it comes to weird and wonderful Guinness World Records. For the third year in a row, we have been scouring UPI's odd news headlines to bring you the 10 oddest Guinness World Records of 2024. The world's smallest wash machine. Sabine Seja of India broke Guinness World Records for the smallest working wash machine when his minute appliance was officially measured at 1.28 inches by 1.32 inches by 1.52 inches, smaller than a Tamagotchi digital pet. In order to qualify for the record, he had to demonstrate that his washing machine was fully functional and would do a full cycle. So, wash, rinse, and spin. One small step for mankind, one giant leap for snuggles. What in the world? The largest building in the shape of a chicken. Again, the world is healing. The Kempestignon Highland Resort located in, some here. There is a reason I am not reading this particular town name, and that would be why. Somewhere foreign earned a world record when it unveiled its new rooster-shaped building. Look at my cock block. Oh, hell no. I'm becoming a real estate agent. I'm making a cul-de-sac full of rooster-shaped houses, and then I'm calling it my cock cul-de-sac. My rooster sack. And an entire block of chicken chased house or chicken, shaped houses will just be called a cock block. Work with me here. Everyone wants to live in Rooster Town. The owner, Ricardo, Cheno Guapotan, possibly how you say that, said the shape of the building, which features 15 air-conditioned hotel rooms. That's it. I'm sleeping in the Rooster Hotel. I want to say that I slept in the Cock Hotel. I it's gonna be a chat field trip. We are just all going to sleep in the Rooster Hotel. I mean, I know. Who wouldn't? And it's a tribute to the local game fowl industry. So, you're celebrating local culture and you get to sleep in a rooster. The longest paddling journey in a pumpkin boat. Organ man Gary Christensen hollowed out a pumpkin that he dubbed Punky Loaster and took a 45.67-mile journey down the Columbia River to break this record. As you do. I mean, who doesn't hollow out a giant pumpkin to go down the, Columbia River on a Tuesday? Thank you, Kevin. I am trying to get back into my old pinup looks, but I forgot that you have to sleep in the curlers to generally do a wet set, and I didn't plan that yesterday at all. Now, Christensen, who faced strong headwinds and unstable waters during his journey, printed the words, "It's real" on the side of the pumpkin to answer the most obvious question that may have been asked by curious onlookers. The fastest 10 meters on a skateboard by a cat. Oh, my cats would not like this. My cats want a Zumba, not something that they have to, or Roomba, not something they have to push like a peasant. Bao Zi, an American short-haired cat belonging to a Chinese man, Li Jiantao, showed off his shredding skills by skateboarding 10 meters or 32.8 feet in 12.85 seconds. Lee, who is a professional dog trainer, said he originally brought Bao Zi home to help with rodents, but he noticed that the feline would watch intensely while he would teach the dogs how to skateboard, so he decided to teach the cat how to do his own tricks. I could. I don't want to give him any more skills. Half of me losing weight is him just coming in to steal parts of my dinner. So I don't need to give him any more treats or any more abilities to run away with my food because he will. Let's see. Most rice grains eaten in 1 minute using chopsticks. Interesting. A Bangladeshi woman, Somiaya Khan, said her love for Korean culture and ramen noodle dishes inspired her to go for a world record that required her to eat 1 grain of rice at a time with her chopsticks. She said the greatest challenge was ensuring that extra pieces of rice did not stick to her chopsticks, and she easily defeated the record by eating 37 grains of rice. There you go. Uh, Highest car bungee jump, because that's something I could see my youngest, most feral calling me from, like, "We're gonna car bungee jump. Have fun, mom. See you later. YOLO, like and subscribe." That would be youngest. Laurent Lascaux, a professional stuntman and race car driver, sat in the driver's seat of a Nissan Quadashi e-powered vehicle when it was dropped from a crane at the height of 213 feet, 3 inches. The car jumped up and down at the end of a bungee cord before safely coming to rest, setting a new world record. Saudi Arabian gamer Ibrahim Al Nasir said he needed to employ the use of more than, oh, so yeah, unless it's for the amount of useless Sailor Moon stuff I have in my room, I don't think I'd win anything. Okay, the most gaming consoles connected to a single TV, because here is where the muscle really meets the road. Here's where the rubber meets the road. We've got to figure out how many gaming consoles we can get to one TV. And then, so this person was able to get more than 30 or RCA switchers and more than 12 HDMI switchers to hook up 444 video game consoles to his television. Now, he said he needed to use an Excel spreadsheet to track which of the boxes and converters he needed to use to play each console. Again, I die on Tetris, so I don't know why you would need a different console, but that's just me. Fastest motorized wheelbarrow. For the wheelbarrow that can get you to the center of the town, the liquor store, and back home again. A British mechanic, Dylan Phillips, hit the tarmac during Straightliner Speed Week 2024 at Elvington Airfield in Yorkshire to take his custom-built vehicle, a motorized wheelbarrow, up to top speed of 52 miles per hour. He said that getting the wheelbarrow up to speed is scary because the real issue is slowing down, as the unusual vehicle only has brakes on the front. This is why men get in more trouble than women do, because women never sit around and think, "God, I wish I could put an outboard Evan Road, motor on that wheelbarrow." Most items identified by a parrot in 3 minutes. I kind of wanna put my son through this to see if he'd be able to identify a fork on the ground, a sock, piece of trash, things that he might not notice, maybe see if he's smarter than a parrot. Apollo, a 4-year-old African gray parrot belonging to Florida residents Dalton and Victoria Mason, was able to identify 12 objects presented to him by name in 3 minutes. The social media famous parrot, who has 2.8 million followers on TikTok, identified objects including a book, a sock, a figurine of Super Mario Brothers nemesis Wario, the widest wig. I knew we had something that was gonna be just for me. It's always a crapshoot. It swings and roundabouts audio coffee. I have gotten it right twice today, but mispronounced nearly every other word that I've spoken. So, it swings and roundabouts. The widest wig, Helen Williamson, who previously earned a Guinness World Record for the longest handmade wig at 1,152 feet and 5 inches, earned her second title by assembling a wig that measured 11 feet, 11 inches wide, 1 inch wider than a Mini Cooper car is long. Williams is a professional wig maker in Nigeria and said she used more than 800 bundles of real hair to make her record breaking wig, which was then decorated with 1,000 rhinestones and put on display in her office. And also, she need to go to the chiropractor because holding that son of a bitch up must have been crazy. But there you are. There are some of the craziest headlines and Guinness World Records of this past year. And I can't wait to see what 2025 has in store for us. Continue growing, getting into some more pop culture stuff, and have a great rest of your day. Now, in a very little bit, I will be heading over to Nicholas. There are some, it's a bit interesting, but there are some stories that Nicholas and I covered at the beginning of our Delphi coverage in this trial that are becoming much more, I guess, prominent because so many people didn't know about them. So we're gonna go over there and chat about some of the things that we thought were somewhat common knowledge, but have turned out to be big breaking stories in the last week or so. So if you'd like to talk a little bit about Delphi and things like that, come over and join Nicholas and I. I do know that I am not going to be dispersing you to anyone. You guys have your choices. I do know that Megan Fox is going to be continuing coverage of the last trial that Jeff was covering. So, absolutely no condemnation, no shame if you would like to honor Jeff today. If you want to be on the replay crew for us, have a wonderful day. Go where you would like to go. Happy, merry, merry, and happy all the things. And we should be getting into that soon. I'm going to get off of here and make sure that the youngest, most ferals, while intoxicated on amounts of sugar hitherto known to man, haven't explodorated anything. So have a wonderful day. I will be over on Nick's channel in just a little bit. Have a just fantastic day, and I will see you in a little bit. Bye, guys. Oh, for the love of Cheetos, I am having hitting the right button itis today. End. No, end.